What up, my guys? On to another show, man. Wednesday, NBA Talk with Jay. I appreciate everybody for tuning in. It's a ton of info that I have to give out. Finna go over top plays in every single game, what I would be betting on every single game. No real, just like one top play for me today, but I will go through what I would bet in every single game. I appreciate everybody for tuning in. It's all love. It's all positive vibes. Post your picks in the chat. We all trying to cash here together. Obviously, college basketball and stuff is going on as well, but this is the NBA show. I'm not here to waste your time. It's all about the info, and it's all about trying to get some cash. It's all about today, in the future. Never really talking about what happened yesterday, and stop doing parlays, my guys. That's going to be my advice of the day. But let's get straight to it in this one. I'm not here to waste your time. It's all love. Go download the Action Network app as well, man. It's all free picks over there. They got a ton of content going on over there for the NIT tournament, obviously for the big tournament, for women's basketball, whatever you like to bet, man. There's plenty of content over there on the Action Network app. Let's get straight to it in this one, man. Let's head over here to the streets of Detroit in this one. Pistons getting 10.5 points at the house versus the Indiana Pacers in this one. Tyrese Halliburton, bless you, baby. Tyrese Halliburton has not been playing well. He's actually been like in a major slump here. They have beaten the Pistons all three times this season. They've covered the spread in all three times this season as well versus the Pistons. They are in a bounce back spot, and the Pacers are one of the best teams in the NBA when coming off a loss when it comes to covering the spread. 18, 11, and 2 against the spread when it comes to when it comes to them bouncing back off of a loss. So I'd still lean to the Pacers. Obviously, this line has moved up since last night. They are coming off 3 straight home games, but they head out on the road. The Pistons they can be a scrappy type of team. It's really tough to lay 10.5 versus the Pistons because for whatever reason, like they like to cover double-digit spreads, man. That's what they've been doing. Before they lost versus the Celtics, they had covered double-digit spreads versus the Heat, and then they had dropped that one versus the Magic. But they do like to cover double-digit spreads at the house. Let's just see here. The last few games that they've had at the house, when getting double digits. Let's see here. So they cover versus the Heat. That was in Miami, though. Let's see. At the house, they covered getting +8 versus the Magic. They covered versus the Clippers, getting 11.5 points. They covered versus the Thunder, getting 12.5 points. They cover versus the Bucks, getting 12 points and 13 points back to back. Cover versus the Wolves. So they like to cover these double digit spreads at the house. I think the Pacers should win the game, but with Halliburton being in this slump, I don't know if I could lay the points with the Pacers here on the road, even though they have been really good at bouncing back off a loss. The fourth best team in the NBA, 18, 11, and 2. So on this one, not gonna lie, not really a super strong feel on this one. I would probably look towards like Siakam points in this one. Maybe some 3-point props as well. Maybe some Miles Turner 3-point props in this one. But I know that Siakam has been balling. He's been feeling it. He's been the main person that's been benefiting from Tyrese Halliburton not doing well. Halliburton's been shooting like really horribly the last few games. He says that this is the worst stretch that he's ever had. So I'd look towards Pascal Siakam's points in this one, but it's not a game that I have a super strong feel on. Let's go over to the streets of Cleveland in this one. Cavs laying 1.5 at the house versus the Miami Heat in this one. Another game I don't really have a strong feel on. These two teams, for whatever reason, they're like the most Jekyll and Hyde teams of the league. These two teams have played twice already this season. The road team has won both games by double digits as well. I would have liked to say that I'd lean towards the Heat here in the bounce back spot. Then Bam Adebayo is listed on the injury report as questionable. The Cavs obviously have a lot of injuries as well. They were without Max Strus. They were without Dean Wade. They were without Donovan Mitchell. They were without Evan Mobley as well. So that's why you have seen them not really have any consistency. You see what I'm saying? They haven't won back-to-back games in their last 10 games. It's been win, loss, win, loss, loss, win, loss, win. They're coming off a win. So if we're following the patterns, the Cavs probably drop a game here. We know that the Heat have not been playing well. It almost seems like to me that they're kind of like trying to stay in that 7-8 seed. And it'll be important as well, because if I do feel like they're trying to tank for the 8 seed and then they play that first play-in game, they'll fuck around and lose the first one on per. It sounds crazy, man, but it's just a little theory of mine. Maybe they'd rather go up against the Celtics in the first round of the playoffs because they feel like that's a good matchup for them. So they have been BSing around. Only 3-7 against the spread in their last 10 games. Only 4-6 as well And 3 of those wins have come versus the Pistons. Their only 4 wins in their last 10 games have come versus the Pistons and the Jazz, for 2 teams that's not necessarily interested in winning. So Cavs can still ball even with this roster that they have, but both of these teams have shown a ton of inconsistency in this one. I believe the Heat are still without Duncan Robinson as well. So this is their 4th straight road game. I'm not gonna lie, this is one game that like I don't really have a good feel for, to be perfectly honest with you. Wouldn't be surprised if the Cavs drop this one, but if the Heat were to win this game, they would definitely need Bam Adebayo in this game, my guys. So maybe look towards some Jared Allen rebounds, whether Adebayo plays or not. Jared Allen rebounds could be a really good look in this particular game, whether the Cavs win this game or not. I think Jared Allen rebounds is what I would look towards in this game. Let's go over to the streets of Boston in this one. Celtics laying 10.5 points. I did really like the Celtics at 8.5, even especially at 6.5. It's up to 10.5. Now, we still don't even know if Drew Holiday and Jaylen Brown are going to play in this game. I think everybody's going to play. This is one of the last few games that the Celtics is like, see on their schedule, it's like a real get up spot. Remember what happened last time? They were in an absolute horrible spot versus the Milwaukee Bucks. Bucks went out there and smoked them. Like, they were up by like 40 some points at the half. They ended up winning that game 135-102. Y'all remember, Celtics rested their guys in the second half. It was a back-to-back spot. It was a horrible spot for the Celtics. They went out there and got blasted. They were down 18 at the end of the first quarter. They were down 75-38, guys, at the half. Like, they were down 38 points, man. Just got absolutely smoked. They got mollywopped. This is a game where the Celtics going to say, all right, y'all want to bust our ass? Now it's our turn. Like, they might do them like the Golden State Warriors did, to be honest with you. So obviously the spread has moved up, especially with Giannis being out. I did get a little tip last night, and I got a little insider there in Milwaukee. He was like, hey, Giannis is at the movies right now. He's still in Milwaukee. So he didn't fly with the Bucks there, and it makes sense because he has a hamstring injury. And he has if I had my phone right now, I'd read it to you. But my guy sent me a message. It's like, hey, Giannis is not with the team last night. That was enough for me. He did put a little something on Celtics minus 8.5. It's up to 10.5. And obviously, if Jaylen Brown and Drew Holiday play in this game, I'd still like them to come out here in the first half and a full game to blast the Bucks. Bucks had a really good game in their last game without Giannis, but you're gonna need his ass versus the Celtics here. So this line is high. It's high for a reason. I think the Celtics come out here and smoke these guys. Obviously, they're hot once again. Won 6 straight, covered 6 straight as well. This is a Celtic spot, 8-2 straight up, and against the spread in their last 10 games. I do think that this is a game where the Bucks will really miss Giannis in this matchup. Celtics are pissed. They're hot. They're at the house. Hopefully, they're at full squad as well. But I think regardless, even if they got I think Drew Holiday has always turned up to go up against this team, but even if they're missing a player in this one, I still think this is Celtics like peak motivation spot to show first off that they're the best in the East, and it's just like a major revenge spot here. And you could argue it's a Bucks letdown as well after guys like Bobby Portis, Dame Lillard went crazy at the house in that matinee game versus Suns. That was more of the Suns just playing horrible and missing a ton of shots. I explained it last night on the last night show why there was such a bad spot for the Suns, but it was a bad spot for the Suns. All of their shots were coming up short, and the Bucks and Bobby Portis was going absolutely crazy in that game. You see what I'm saying? So I'd still lean towards the Celtics here, first half and full game, whether they're full squad or not. This is more of a bet on the Celtics and bet against the Bucks. They have a game tomorrow versus the Nets. That's probably why Giannis just stayed at the house. He's not even with the team. It's crazy. They listed him, question him, and they list him out today. He's not even with the team, guys. So be interesting to see what happens in this one. But they do have the Nets tomorrow. The Bucks likely get blown out in this one, mail it in early, and then get a nice win tomorrow versus the Brooklyn Nets. That's what I'd look for to happen. If the Bucks do get blown out by 20-30 here, then we'll probably back the Bucks to smack the trash-ass Nets up tomorrow. So this is a Celtics first half and full game spot. Team total over, all that good stuff. This is a Celtics spot here. First half, full game, and their team total over. They should get cooking in this game versus the Milwaukee Bucks. Let's go over to the streets of Toronto in this one. Raptors getting 11.5 points at the house versus the Sacramento Kings in this one. It's not the best of spots for the Kings. Obviously, we've seen the Raptors really crater. Now, only thing that I don't like about the Kings here is that they're coming off a 6-game homestand. They're coming off an overtime game versus the Memphis Grizzlies, and they don't have one day to travel all the way from Memphis to Toronto. But this Raptors team is not for real whatsoever. All of their best players are out. All of their best offensive guys are out. Well, we knew RJ Barrett's out. Scotty Barnes out for the year. Jakob Poeltl probably out for the year. And then now Emmanuel Quickly's out with a personal problem as well, man. So Can't even speak on it because I don't know what's happening. But 1-9 straight up last 10 games. 2-8 against the spread. Raptors are not showing really any fight. In that game versus the Nuggets, they've showed fight. Every other game other than that hadn't really showed any fight, guys. They're like I say, when Quickly's out, I really see this team struggling. You just hope that the Kings come in here and play some defense. But Raptors team total under 110.5 should be a top play in this game. But even more, what I would bet here, bless you. But even more that I would bet in this game would be Malik Monk over his 18.5 points. If you guys have noticed, and even if whether the Kings are in a close game or whether they're in a blowout, Malik Monk will play 30 plus minutes in this game. He will go for at least 20 points. He's the heavy favorite right now for 6 man of the year. He's gonna get it, but they're just continuing to build his case the whole year. And I kind of like what Mike Brown is doing. It's like, all right, we have a 6 man of the year candidate. Let's play him starter minutes. So while he comes off the bench, he is the X factor for the Sacramento Kings. He closes the games for them. When they're getting blown out, Malik Monk is still out there. I think they make it a point to give Malik Monk 20 points in this game. I like Malik Monk's over 18.5 points even more than I'd like Toronto Raptors under their team total in this game, because you just never really know if the Kings are going to come out playing lockdown defense. But Raptors should really struggle to score in this game. I think both of them are really good plays. Malik Monk over 18.5 points, and then Raptors team total under 110.5 in this game, guys. Let's go over here to the streets of, and I think it's something important to really note when these guys are really going for these awards, man. They're putting in extra effort. We're in the days of the NBA where guys are stat padding. Like, they'll stay out there just to get a certain amount of points, man. You see what I'm saying? It is what it is, guys. It doesn't matter how you feel personally about it. It's all about making money off of it. You see what I'm saying? And I think that SGA is finna go out here and get 35 points. Now, he hasn't got more than 31 points in his last 5 games. But in his last 4 games, but I do think he makes it an effort here to go tonight. And it could be like a 2-part type of bet. He could go under his assist here as well, because he hasn't really been looking to pass the ball. It's all about scoring. SGA is really going for the MVP. I think he's going to get it, but he has to start back putting up these 35 point games, because he's kind of been lacking lately. Even though they've been winning 5 of the last 6, they hadn't been covering spreads. They're only 2-7 against the spread. They're only 2-7 against the spread in the last 9. Only 1-6 against the spread in their last 7 games. But this is a spot where I see SGA has a really good matchup. Not a really ton of paint protection for the Jazz down low. Walker Kessler's been coming off the bench, but maybe he's still a little banged up because he hasn't been playing a ton of minutes for the Jazz there. He's been playing like from 20 to 28 minutes and hasn't really been having a really great production. So we don't even know if John Collins is going to play in this game as well. He's still traumatized from getting dunked on. You see what I'm saying? But if John Collins is a starting 5 here, SGA can get into the paint and do whatever the hell he wants in this one. He's probably going to have like 20 points by halftime. We just hope that it's not too big of a blowout. Like, if it's a 40-point blowout, that's going to be bad here. But if they're only up 20 points, I still see SGA stand in this game to stat pad, and I want to bet on it. I like SGA over his 31.5 points. Now, the Thunder line has went up, unfortunately, because at one point, I know last night you could have got the SGA to score 30, and then for the Thunder to win, you could have did a same game parlay at -145. I'm not sure what that's at now, but I still think that's a really good bet. Or if you'd like to just isolate SGA to get over his 31.5, I think it's a really good look here. Also, Thunder over their team total over as well. Let me see that. It's not something that I bet, but it's at 124. If they do blow them out, it means that they're going to put up 130 points in this game. Could also be a spot where Jazz, they could go under their team total. It's at 107.5, 108.5. My best play in this game is SGA over his points. If you'd like to go to, it's going up to 15.5 now, bro. It's going crazy. Go get the phone, baby. Go get daddy your phone. Go get daddy your phone, okay? SGA over his points, best play in this one, guys. Sorry, I got to kind of hurry up in this one, man. Let's go over to the streets of Golden State in this one. I won't waste your time on this game. Don't have much on it. Can't trust the Warriors laying 11 points. I won't trust them laying 11 versus anybody. This team was laying 12.5 at the house. I know that was without Steph, but this team was laying 12.5 without Victor Wembanyama out there for the Spurs, and they lost outright. I am not fucking with the Warriors right now. This team is ass. The Grizzlies could win this game outright and would not surprise me whatsoever, guys. So I'm not. This line has went up from 10 to 11. I don't care. I am not trusting the Warriors with my life right now. So Grizzlies actually got Bane and Triple J back. They could keep this game close. They got kicked out of the I believe they got kicked out of the play-in or kicked out of the playoffs last year versus the Warriors. They always have something up against these guys. Grizzlies are slowly but surely starting to get healthier. Whether they're trying to win or not, that doesn't mean that they can't keep this game close with the 11-point spread here. So I'm all the way off this game. Maybe look towards Warriors team total over if you want to bet them in this game, but I'm just all the way off the Warriors right now. I'm not really messing with them right now. All right, let's go over here to the streets of Portland in this one. Blazers getting 12 points at the house versus the LA Clippers, another team. I can't trust the Clippers land points right now. I would look towards their team total over. My best look in this game would be Clippers to go over their team total. Let's see what that is. It was at 112.5. It's damn, that shit just came up, man. A lot of these lines have moved since last night. It was at 112.5, and then now it's up to 115.5, 114.5 at some spots, 115.5. I'd still look towards Clippers on their team total over. I do expect them to have a really good game. I do expect them to bounce back here offensively. They've lost 4 of their last 5 games. This is just what the doctor has ordered up versus the Portland Trailblazers in this one. Now, I don't know if I want to lay 12 with them, but even if they come close to covering the spread, which means that the Clippers are going to put up 120 points in this game. I know that the Blazers can play some defense. They're not a bad defensive squad, but I still feel like this is a spot where Clippers, if they come out here pissed off, they could do whatever the hell they want. They only scored 93 points versus the Atlanta Hawks, which was a horrible game. They scored 104 versus the Pelicans. There was a back-to-back road back-to-back spot, but Pelicans have a really great defense. They scored 100 versus the Wolves. Wolves have a really great defense. They did score 117 versus the Milwaukee Bucks, and I believe they had a few players out in that game as well. Let me see. I'm pretty sure somebody. So yeah, Paul George and Kawhi Leonard sat out in that game, and you still scored 117 points. So why can't they score 115, 116 points versus this Blazers team? They got to be pissed off. They got absolutely smoked versus the Atlanta Hawks as 9.5-point favorites. Everybody was playing as well. There's no excuse for the Clippers to be losing that type of game, and that's all the more reason why I can't trust them here and land the points, but I would look at their team total over in this one. My top spot in this game would be the Clippers team total over 115.5. Even though it's moved 3 points, I still think it's going to cash, and the Clippers go for 120 points here in this game, guys. Last game up, let's go over to the streets of Phoenix in this one. Suns land 9 points at the house versus the Sixers in this one. I do think this could be a bounce back J spot for the Suns. It was a horrible spot for them versus the Bucks. They had just played a back-to-back, and then they had less than 19 hours going to the next game with travel going to the not less than 19 hours, but it was still less than 19 hours. They didn't get the full day in there because the next game was a matinee. You could tell. I was watching the show. I was watching the game. There was Booker, KD, all these guys, their shots, Bill, all their shots were coming up short. They didn't have enough rest. There was a horrible scheduling spot here for the Suns in Milwaukee. It was the last game of a 4-game East Coast road trip as well. They're back at the house after coming off some lackluster efforts. I think the Suns can really have a really good game. Let me see what their team total, because I feel like this is a game where the Suns get up offensively in this one. Obviously, the outside of Mo Bamba, Sixers don't really have a ton of paint protection out there. So when he goes out of the game, Suns could get at the rim at ease, and that's what they like to do, get to the rim, shoot those mid-range shots. Other than Kelly Oubre, there's not really a defender out there seeing him stop Devin Booker, Bradley Beal, and Kevin Durant in this one. Now, Kevin Durant hasn't been a well offensively oiled machine, but Devin Booker wills. I do think this is a bounce back spot for the big three here. I think they go well over their team total over 115.5. And I think they stifle the Sixers in this one. Sixers had a really good game versus the Heat, but there was a revenge spot for Kyle Lowry. It's almost like he told his team, look, I really want this game. Let's really go out here and play like it's game 7. This is a letdown spot for the Sixers going on the road. They're coming off back-to-back wins at the house versus a couple of scrubs, obviously because the Heat are playing like scrubs, but when they go on the road here and to the going to the western side as well of United States, I think they're about to have a major letdown here. I think it's a little hard for me to trust the Suns laying 9. I'm not going to lie with you, but I do think that this is a spot where they get back and get right and bounce back in a big way. I do think they can win this game by double digits. I'm just kind of hesitant to lay 9 with the Suns. We know how they are. Their defense has been a lot better, and their 3-point defense as well. If they're doubling and blitzing Tyrese Maxey, it's going to be really tough for the Sixers to generate enough offense to stay play with the Suns in this one. I think the Suns offense will be superior today, and my top play in this game would be looking at Devin Booker over his points, and or the Suns to go over their team total, my guys. So that's the show, man. Got some daddy duties I gotta attend to, man. But went through every single game, went through what I would bet in every single game. So it's up to you to pick and choose whatever you like in whatever game. Literally had top plays in pretty much every single game except for the Heat game and then the Pacers game in that one, but explained what I would bet in every single game. My advice to you guys, man, is to stop doing parlays. Now, I don't want to say it just like you have to stop. I just want to let people know I've been betting for 12 years. My first 5 to 6 years, I bet a lot of parlays. I won some money. There was a time where I hit 22 straight days of parlays. Like, I was pretty good at it. But guess what? I never could go to the next level because no matter how much you're winning parlays, you're always going to lose most of it back. And a lot of people will say what they won in their parlays, but they won't tell you how many parlays they lost. It's not a winning strategy. I'm just here to let you know, if you want to get ahead in sports betting, whether you want to do it professional or just, I know a lot of people are doing it for fun, you have to stop doing parlays. I would say do two at the very max. Three-team parlay or whatever you're doing, prayer pops. I would even suggest 2. If you're not gonna not go past 3, or if you're gonna do like 4 or 5, I'm just here to let you know you're never really gonna get anywhere like that, guys. So I just want to make that clear, man. And don't blame me as well. If one of the plays I had, you lost on your parlay, and then I hear other people as well, my plays won, but they still lost something else on their parlay. That's going to happen, guys. Remember, with a parlay, you have to hit every single bet for you to win. Bookies make 70% of their money off of people losing off of parlays. So I'm just trying to help you guys out. That's my advice of the day. If you really want to get to the next level, you're going to have to stop betting parlays and just bet straight bets. It doesn't matter if you're betting starting out with $5, betting 5 a piece. I started out betting like $50 a game. Then it went up to 100. Then it went up to 250, 500, 1,000. 5,000, 10,000. You see what I'm saying? So you can build your way up, but you got to start out small. Nobody gets rich overnight, guys. It's just my advice to you. I'm just trying to help you out. It's Us Against the Bookies. Obviously, I don't want to see you losing all your money consistently to the bookies. I know Colorado sports books made 75% of their money off of losing parlays last month, guys. So just trying to help. It's all love. It's all positive vibes. Type "we will win" in the chat. Type "stop doing parlays" in the chat. It's all love. If you really want to make money, do straight bets, my guys. I hope everybody has a great day. Go check out Action Network. Is that the Action Network app? It's all free. Plenty of picks over there, articles, shows for the NCAA tournament, getting you ready for March Madness. It's all love, my guys. J Money is money. NBA Talk with Jay. We out, my guys. Let's go.